Testing. Okay. Hi there. Welcome back. Thank you all so much for coming on in. It's Trixie T, the one and only, spreading peace and love to you and all of you, per usual. You guys, I want to start off by saying that gratitude is just something to really indulge in during these times. Right now, it's very critical to not only our generation, but minorities, people in the LGBT community. All of us, we just really, I know we all want to do better, right? So it's like, sometimes it gets hard, sometimes sometimes you just want to pull the strings and just say, fuck all this shit. But I do feel like that won't get us anywhere. So the original topic was going to be about surgery, but I do feel like this topic is more important because right now, I think being able to have mindfulness and finding healthier ways to deal with things would honestly be the best thing for anyone who wants to continue to grow and continue to find peace in all the chaos, So with mindfulness, it's different ways on how you can embrace it, meditating, writing, walking, breathing the air that we get to breathe every day is just a blessing within itself. But being mindful it's simple. Like, it's literally as much as just being present in the moment and allowing yourself to just take that deep breath and just be like, you know what? Whatever happened, it happened. What can I do now to get me to the next steps on where I want to go in my life, But the thing is, though, it gets hard. And when it gets chaotic, you just kind of lose focus. You want to continue to find ways to tap into your higher self. Literally, Peep the shirt, Miss Mona. How cute is this, right? I think I got this from Play-Doh's. If y'all know Play-Doh's, we're going to be doing a little haul with them sooner or later, so definitely stay tuned for that. But when I saw this shirt, I was like, girl, yes. And then I did the little slit because I felt like, you gotta have a little originality to it. Always gotta add a little originality, just a little splat at that, as they say. So no, for real, being mindful is literally something that we should all practice. Finding balance within yourself, amidst all the chaos, and just being able to take that deep breath and keep going, The question you should be asking is, why do you want to be more mindful? Why do you want to not overthink or indulge in things that make you not think about what, the actuality, and then you'll still be in the same shit. So, intention. I think the best thing to do is maybe start your day off with intention. Because some days it might be busier than others. So you always want to find that moment to where you can just take a step back, take that deep breath, and just, not necessarily go with the flow, but know that you're able to keep your peace and find out a way to, be more intentional on how you might deal with the situation. So some days, I say, prime example, say if I have like a day where I have to get up early and then I might have errands to run but I also want to come back and have like that moment within myself to just, do my night routine. Don't get me wrong, we don't always do it, but intention, find that groundedness where you're just like, okay, I'm going to take this step back. I'm going to breathe so that I can really keep my mindset on the things that I know were intended for the day, or intended for the week, or intended for the month, or intended towards whatever it is that you're doing, right? I don't care if that's just taking a deep breath and being like, I woke up. What a blessing that is. Or, meditating is a prime example of being able to be mindful, but I know that that's not something that everyone is able to indulge in, because some people, have really busy schedules. And I mean, you can literally meditate in any way, shape, or form. So, no excuses, but I know that other things are easier for people to do. So that's why I said setting an intention with just being grateful, taking that deep breath when you wake up. I don't care if it's like 3 to 5 minutes. Taking that deep breath and just asking, or just showing that gratitude that, hey, I made it to another day. Yesterday may have been, more hectic than I could have, I would have expected. But hey, I woke up. What can I do now in this present moment to set that intention on having a better day today? I feel like it's helped me allow myself to build resilience and discipline, because I've noticed recently that there are certain things that I force myself to do every day. And some days I really don't want to do it. Some days I just want to lay up. Just lay up. Just cuddle my blankets, cuddle my pillows, and just lay up. The more you lay, and the more you don't do the things that you know are going to get you to that, even if you don't know. If it's something that keeps you tapped into staying active, and always do that. Like, dedicate your time, dedicate your effort unto, today might not be as good as the day before, but what can I do, setting the intention, what can I do now to allow me to be, on that path, to get me closer to the success that I want for myself or for yourself, Like, juggling multiple responsibilities, sometimes it really can be draining. That's what kind of makes it hard sometimes to be mindful that this is temporary. Everything is temporary. All of it is temporary. Also, the quote for today, every video we're gonna do like a quote for the day, to set the intention on we'll be getting at here, So the quote for today is, do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. And that is by Buddha. Oh, I like how that rhymes. That's cute. No, honestly, I think it resonates with the message that I'm spewing at right here. Because I've noticed, on my channel we talk about hormones and being able to balance them out, and with the fact that I'm transitioning, I've noticed that there is a lot more emotions that come up, and I just be like trying to not necessarily figure it all out, because we're all trying to figure this shit out, but the smallest things could trigger these emotions. Or working in customer service, it's so easy to allow those emotions to, be triggered by the environment, or, kind of go back to that space of, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? What's going on? But when you take that breath and you really just, I don't care if you got to do it 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Like when you do that, it just take you back to be like, hey, take a breather. It's okay. How can I deal with this in a way that will not affect me, to where I'm thinking about it the next few days. Like like I said, everything is temporary. So one thing we're not going to do is overindulge in things that not does not mean us well, but also affects our energy in a negative way. There are always going to be moments where things happen that we have no control over, but we do have control on how we deal with it, how we react to it. When you take that deep breath and woosah, you get a whole lot of kumbaya type energy. And yeah, so breathing exercises do help. I've noticed that when I meditate, that's a perfect way to stay present in the moment. So even with setting those intentions early in the morning, and you focus on the breath, I've noticed that the mind will shift. But when you breathe and you focus on that breath, it allows you to come back into the present moment, be more intentional, be more mindful, full of mindfulness on why am I breathing like this? Like, even if it's you talking to yourself, like, girl, what is you doing? Like, girl, are you literally, you're breathing. I mean, like, we all breathe, but being able to focus on that breath, it allows you to be present in the moment on why you're doing this. If you're doing it, setting your intention on, I'm doing this to grow, then you're going to focus on, how can I continue to grow? If you're doing this unintentional, right? Baby, you just breathing. Like, we all get to breathe. It's a blessing. But baby, you're just breathing. Are you living? Are you truly living for all the things that will align you within being, in that divine energy, in that higher frequency compared to, thinking negative. And I once saw this study that was saying when you're anxious or you're under pressure, you tend to breathe a lot quicker. And when you're calm, cool, collect, you're able to breathe deeper and more, intentional. And I realized that that's a real thing, because sometimes when you are under pressure, like even fight or flight mode, it's like all of that, and you may not even focus on your breath. You'll focus on the environment. You'll focus on what's going on around you. Do I need to fight or flight? But if you know that, hey, I'm not going to allow this to affect me. Let me take a breather, take a chill pill, so to speak, and figure out, is this really worth me putting my energy into, And you sit there and is this really worth putting my, you might be talking to yourself, but that's a part of being mindful. That's a part of understanding your thought process and which things trigger you and how you basically reprogram these different ways in which you would normally react or think towards it. So that's even as much as thinking more positively, putting out those affirmations, not only putting out those affirmations, but acting on, hey, if I'm thinking abundant, I need to do abundant stuff. I need to stop telling myself, you don't deserve this, or today's going to be a bad day because yesterday was a horrible day. No, that's only going to make you think, yesterday was bad, today's going to be bad, and every other day is going to be bad just because I got the short end of the stick. But it really don't work like that. When you sit there and breathe and you woosah it out, there's just something that goes on to make you want to just be present and grateful that, hey, I get to breathe. Hey, right here, right now, in this moment, is me versus me. What will I do with that? How can I intentionally make the next, if something was to happen, how can I intentionally deal with this in a healthier way compared to, how I dealt with it before? Yeah. So being able to apply mindfulness in my own life, I realized that I've always been like someone who doesn't like confrontation, but at the same time, you have to create boundaries and understand that everything's not going to go your way, but you can always be more mindful on how you deal with it, because if you don't, you're letting the enemy take control of your life, or you're letting what's going on now affect what could possibly happen for you for the better in the future. And yeah, so I've realized that doing that, it's helped me a lot. Like even a few days ago, girl, I did not want to go to the gym. Like it was just something, I had so much time, but I really did not want to go. Like, I don't know how to explain. I just really did not want to go. But then with the, practicing this consistently, it's just this other thought in the mind that's like, you know why you're doing this. You're not doing this just to do it or just to prove something to someone. You're doing this because you've seen the benefit and you've seen how it helps you be more consistent, creatively, actively, the things that you indulge in. It's helped you. So why shun it? Like, why not do it if you see the benefit that comes from it? And that's when I'm just like, you know what? This 45 minutes to an hour not gonna really, it's not gonna, if I didn't sit here for 30 minutes to an hour just thinking about what I can do, imagine how good I'll feel when I go in that gym and I do what I have to do, and you honestly get a lot more, like just being able to express yourself, being able to let some of that stress go, right? So that's another thing. Like when you allow yourself to be mindful, you reduce the amount of stress that you have because you're releasing it all into the weights, or I don't care if you're dancing, I don't care if you're, because being active is probably the most intentional thing to bring out that mindfulness. But when you take those breaths, like even at the gym, you might be in pain, but when you start to focus on the breath and you reprogram your thoughts, you'll realize that, it's a mind thing. Like you breathing, girl, sometimes I be, but it helps me. So yeah, some days I really have to be disciplined. And I've realized that being mindful and more intentional on why I want to focus on the actual things that I want to get done. How can I take those, those short-term steps to get me to the long term on, why I'm doing all this. And yeah, so it's an everyday process. Even Oprah herself, like since it's Black History Month, Oprah herself, who's a self-made billionaire, like, y'all know about her. I love soft folk, but I kill him dead before I let him beat me. That Oprah, she meditates. And she talked about it in one of her segments on how it helps her be more mindful, be more intentional when it comes to prevailing over having such a busy life, or setting those intentions towards all the successes that she has now. Her implementing this into her life helped her stay on that path of why I'm doing this, and focusing not necessarily on the bad because things happen, but how can I react right now? Like, what is the best way for me to react right now in order to get me closer to where I'm going? Like, if it's worked for her, a billionaire, a self-made billionaire, baby, it's gonna work for Trixie. And I do believe it'll work for you and you and all of you. So, I feel like try it out. I don't care if you do like a week. And if you do, come back here and let me know so we can continue the conversation. Come back here and let me know how you feel. Like, start the day, even if it's just a day. We can start fresh. Start with the day. When you wake up, start with intention. Take that breath and see how you feel. By the end of the night, you come back home and, in your relaxing stage, journal. Just for this one day. Just journal. And basically go over how your emotions were throughout the day, while you were able to, take that deep breath and, just tap back into yourself. Journal how, your stress levels, if that's something that you might see happen if you're an active person or going to work or, anything. Just do it for a day. First, the start of it, go with intention. Breathe. Intention on towards what you want to go through, right? What you're doing. Throughout the day, pay attention to your stress levels. Pay attention to how you react. Pay attention to what you're thinking towards certain things. And then by the end of the night, you come home and just journal it out. If you can do a day, try a week. Try a full week. I don't care if you don't even journal every day. Start with intention. Focus on those breaths. And then come back to self. And I don't care if it's 2 days, 3 days. Journal and see how your thought processes were at the beginning compared to however many days you do or at the end of the night. And yeah, if you see any benefits, then voila. But I would like for you to try that because I noticed that it's something that has been helping me on my journey of continuing to learn who I am and tap into being more active and more disciplined and consistent on the things that I want for myself. And if it's helping me, I feel like, why not help the family, So yeah, try it out, come back to me, and then let me know in the chat. You can text, you can email me. Yeah, y'all can't get my number unless we talking business chat. But no, come back here so that we can actually talk about it. And, I feel like I am here to not only help myself, but to continue to help the ones and the people that feel me. Like, if you feel me, then we here. If you feel me, then we here. And yeah, we just gonna definitely keep it going because I do feel like it builds mental fortitude and being able to tap into your emotions and figuring out why you're thinking the way you're thinking, or what's making me feel this way, or how can I react in a way that is protecting my peace, protecting my energy type thing. Another thing before I leave here. Oh, here it is. So it's my life and I will succeed. Make plans like an adult and believe in it like a child. Let that sit with you. It's my life, and I will succeed. Make plans like an adult and believe in it like a child. With that being said, I want to wish you all a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. I didn't say that in the beginning of the video, but I really wanted to get to the nitty-gritty, you know. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Definitely subscribe, hit that like button, turn on those post notifications so you know when the next time I post a video. And thank you so much for indulging in, you know, the trigger effect. I love you all. Hope you have a blessed day. Peace. To the Middle East, baby. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And as long as I'm doing the work, then it will unfold into my divine higher self.